We are live. 5 seconds into being live.
Just making sure that everything looks good on the
Awesome.
YouTube.
I like this. This is our first time using this.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Oh, okay. Hi, Better Call Daddy. Nice to see you.
Yeah, hi, Raina. We're just going to give everything a few more minutes just to make sure that we are up and going, and then we are going to go ahead and get started. If you're already here, thank you so much for being here. We are excited for this.
It's our birthday. I mean, we're officially going off to kindergarten, like first grade. So, we're leaving the parents behind and venturing out forth into the school system. Actually, that's kind of crazy. 6 years.
Yeah. Kristy, how long have you been with Headliner?
I've been with Headliner for over 3 years. Best way to explain it. Like, I started in January of 2021.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd say it's time to go ahead and get this going. It looks like everything is up and running on YouTube. So
All right.
And share my screen super quick. And we'll get into our little presentation. Okay, so hi, everybody. Thank you again so much for being here. If you've been here for a few minutes and you heard Kristy and I talking previously, but it is our birthday. Headliner's officially 6. So today we just kind of wanted to walk you all through some of the different things that Headliner's been up to and different things that podcasters have been doing with Headliner. So without further ado, let's get into it. And my name is Alyssa. I'm the head of marketing over here at Headliner. And Kristy is also here as well. He's the head of support. Kristy, do you want to say hi real quick?
Hi.
Awesome.
I am Kristy and head of support, and I'm happy about the birthday. This is great.
Awesome. Well, so like I said, it is our birthday and Headliner 6. So together we have done a lot. And podcasters, of course, you guys have been super busy. So together, you guys have exported over 72 million minutes of content, which is just over 138 years worth of content. So that's kind of insane for just our very 6 short years. And then speaking of how many of there you are, over 1.3 million podcasters and creators have been able to grow and market their content using Headliner in over 193 countries. And together, we are, of course, known for our audiogram tool, Make by Headliner. Together, we have created over 17 million audiograms and transcribed 25 million minutes of content together. And then briefly, just walking through the different products that Headliner offers. So chiefly, we are known for our audiogram tool that's going to be Make by Headliner. But we also have a couple of other things that we offer. So we have Disco by Headliner, and Disco is going to allow podcasts to better connect their podcast up onto the web. For example, if you have a blog or a website, Disco is going to be a super awesome, easy tool that's free for podcasters to use, of course, that allows you to get your podcast up into your blog or website in a very relevant way. And then kind of our latest endeavor is going to be podcast promo, and that is our programmatic ad tool. So this is a paid service. So if you have the free account of Headliner, you might have seen us play some podcast clips in the background while you wait. That is podcast promo, but we also are expanding it via the Headliner Publisher Network, and that is allowing us to help get podcasts up onto the web in a very targeted way, which has allowed us to get on sites like CNN, Extra TV, and so many more that are coming very soon. And our other tool that has really taken off in recent months is going to be Eddie by Headliner. And Eddie's really started out as kind of a transcript-based editor, but it's evolved into so much more. So now you can promote your podcast with ease using the podcast promo pack or create clips. And this does support both video and audio. So we will be doing a much deeper dive into Eddie through this actually. Kristy's going to do a lovely little walkthrough. So I won't speak about it too much because I want Kristy to show you how it works so beautifully. And then another free thing that Headliner offers, and this comes with every single Headliner account, is going to be the Headliner dashboard. And what the Headliner dashboard does is it kind of aggregates all of your data for you. So if you're using any of the Headliner products and uploading or posting to social media or the web, this dashboard is going to allow you to track your total impact and kind of also aggregate all of your data for you in kind of that one-stop shop. So from here, you can access your dashboard in a few different ways. So if you are creating audiograms, and specifically if you're sharing them to these social media platforms directly from Make, so whenever you log in and you get your lovely audiogram final product and you click the share button, then that specific project will be communicated back to this dashboard, and you'll be able to track things like views, likes, and comments across all of these different platforms. So you can see right here, Kristy was so lovely, and he volunteered a screenshot of his dashboard for his podcast. And we can see that these are the Twitter impacts, but there's also YouTube and Instagram here as well. And the next thing you can do with the dashboard, if you have a Disco unit, so again, if you're connecting your podcast to your blog, this is going to allow you to kind of track the total impressions and engagement that you can see how many people are just engaging with your podcast from your web traffic. And you can break this down so you can change your look back period, so you can shorten the time period in which you want to look, or you can lengthen it up to the total lifespan of however long you've had Disco. And you can do a lot of little things to make it a lot more granular, so you can start looking into kind of different platform breakouts and URLs. So it's a really awesome way to track kind of where you're seeing that most engagement and how you're getting that much more return. And again, this is going to kind of aggregate it down in this table for you so you can see the total impact. But we also provide you easy to read data visualizations to really help you kind of see that impact over time. And finally, you're going to have the podcast promo dashboard. So this is going to function and look a lot like that Disco dashboard, but this is just for the podcast promo. So if you are doing a paid campaign, you're able to kind of break it down per campaign, or again, you can aggregate it across your total podcast promo journey. So this is, again, going to be a really great way for you to kind of see, how much money you've spent, and then also see and calculate kind of the return on investment for that as well. And now I'm going to turn it on over to Kristy, and he is going to get into our lovely Eddie and Make demos.
Awesome. Hold on. Let me crack my knuckles really quick, kind of get involved here. Now, one of the best parts that I think I've gotten to really get like benefit from this is that I actually decided to create my own podcast about 6 months ago to start using Headliner products to really see the benefits. And I have found that it has been truly unbeatable when it comes to how my podcast workflow has been fixed. So I'm going to go, you guys can all see that. I'm going to basically, there's a couple ways to get to Eddie. First way, you can log into Headliner and you can click the big pink button in the middle. It's basically just, hey, we're going to take this to open up a new page and take you to Eddie. Now, you can also go to Eddie by putting in this URL, eddie.headliner.app. It'll take you to your dashboard. As you can see, I've done my whole podcast on this. It is, we're going to just pick one of these episodes. You can upload anything from your, you can search for your podcast. So you can say, hey, let's pick the daily, or let's, here, we'll pick my podcast, 5 at the Door. You can pick any of these episodes, and you can also refresh the feed. And let's say, you know, it hasn't shown up yet, refresh the feed, and you can pull up the new episodes that way. I've already uploaded that because it takes about 5 minutes, I would say, maybe a little bit longer to go through. Like if you have a half an hour podcast, it'll take about 5 minutes to transcribe everything, maybe a little less. My podcast is around 40 minutes, so that's why it takes a little bit over that. So we're just going to pick this one. Now it is very, very, it's just basically, here is the editor. You need to edit your podcast. You can do that right here. But the main thing I want to show you is, if we can take our eyes over to this promo pack. I'm going to click this button, and we're going to change the way that basically you do promotion. Right here, we've generated, by the time that this all opens up, show notes, episode art, keywords, social captions, quotes, references, a newsletter, a blog post. We build this all for you. It's like we have these awesome little tabs over here. Let's look at these show notes. This is generated by in that 5 minutes it takes to transcribe everything. We also make all of this immediately for you. I already have, and this is based off of previous episodes that I've made show notes for. It wrote show notes that are very similar, scarily similar to actual show notes that I would have written myself. It has everything, including episode chapters, and I have music in mine, and it gives like the actual song that I'm putting. It's just crazy. It's really hard to explain because everything that goes in the back end is just made specifically for you. So if you decide to click the show notes section after you've uploaded this podcast and associated it with your podcast, it'll look at all of your previous show notes and create something similar to yours. It's crazy. So let's say you don't have episode art yet. We've taken care of that for you with AI. I have a music podcast, so it like this one right here is, I love it. It's perfect. This is exactly kind of the art that I'm looking for. I can use this for social posts, for Instagram, for anything, and this is all free. Like from here on out, nothing I'll tell you is like a part of a paid anything. This is all still in beta. We want everyone to try it out. The next thing, we give you keywords. Based on your entire thing, you can copy and paste this, or just click this button or download whatever, and you can post that on Instagram or on the tag section of Libsyn or whatever your host provider is. It's just so easy. This is, again, in 5 minutes, all this stuff is created for you. Let's take a look. And then social captions. Here, you can just copy and paste this little section, and you can put that with a clip. It's basically all of the small things that you need for all of your social posting, all of your promotional stuff. Because again, we found that when it comes to the energy level of creating a podcast, the energy drops at promotion because it's all of the weird little work you have to do in order to get people to look at your podcast. It's the only part that I would consider work when making podcasting. Because like when you're recording, you're having a blast. When everyone's listening to it already, you're having a blast. But after you're recording and then during editing and promotional, like that's the part where it's like the nitty-gritty work stuff. So we try to make this as easy as possible for y'all. We have quotes taken. Here's quotes just from my podcast, from this episode that you can just copy and paste. We already give you the emojis correctly. Here are references. I have a lot of bands, and I reference like Jacob Collier. Gives me a link to Jacob Collier's website, Spotify, Discord. We talk about Anthony Fantano. We try, and if we can find links for it, we're going to put those in the references here, and then you can also adjust and edit all of this as well. We also have a newsletter. So here is a newsletter email subject and email body. Boom, ready to go. Just copy and paste and put it in your email and send it to your email blaster, like a MailChimp or something. Here's a blog post, which is, again, we created long form content. This, if I wanted to make a blog post like this, I think this would have taken me at least like a half an hour to an hour. Here it is just for you. We've based it off of the transcript style. We based it off of like the show notes and how things normally go, and also other blog posts. It all just feeds in together, and I just think it's incredible. I think that this is a one-stop shop for promotion. And that is basically the promo pack in general. You can get there through export here, view your promo pack, and it'll always be right here for you whenever you need it. And does anybody have any questions? Oh, I've created the infinite. I'm going to
say, I don't think we've got any questions right now about Eddie.
That is okay. I mean, it is pretty straightforward as well. I didn't have any questions when I dived in.
Awesome. And then for Eddie, I do want to just quickly say, if you're recording through Zoom or if you're saving your podcast recordings through Google Drive, you can also upload it that way. We do have 2 integrations with both Google Drive and then also Zoom that allow you for super easy upload process and directly into Eddie as well.
Perfect.
Well, cool. I don't think there's any Eddie questions at this time. So do you want to hop on over into Make and show people kind of your audiogram process?
Yeah. So if I'm making audiograms here, I'm going to go ahead over back to share screen, share the whole thing. Cool. So my audiogram process, if I'm making audiograms, I like to keep it as hands-off as possible. So I like to use the automatic audiograms because, again, my time is I want my time back. Making podcasting is hard. Let's see if I can use all the tools in front of me to give myself as much time back so that I can make more podcasts and I can enjoy my time while I'm doing all this stuff. So let's say automatic audiograms. I'm going to make a new one for, again, my podcast, Vibe at the Door. We'll click next. Let's say I wanted to upload everything to YouTube. We can do a full episode, add the entire episode to it. We can also auto post it to YouTube as well. We can add to my account. I have a bunch of Google accounts. So I'm going to, let's do vibeatthedoor@gmail.com. And then we can continue. And then you make sure that everything, basically what you're doing is you're creating, all APIs are just bridges between one software to the next or one web page to the next. So you just need to make sure that all the bridges are selected. So I select all. And I continue. I didn't have a YouTube channel for this Gmail account, so that makes sense. I can switch the account to, let's do a personal account. That's not a problem. We already have access to that. I need to verify the account for that, then that makes sense. So once you get all of that, you're basically all ready to go. And you can change all the art and everything. Basically, the way that the art looks is you can pick an episode and you'll be able to make sure you're choosing the correct language. And then here is the template. I have made a lot of templates also because I work in customer support. I have to know how a lot of templates work and I have to make a lot to do testing. So we can make our own. So we can start here. This is the most recent episode, and it's just shown the episode that you picked. It'll pull the episode art from it. So if I wanted to do a little design work, I would probably, let's put that just on the far left. Let's take this, and again, everyone can do their own thing. I just have vibes that I like to curate. And I will pick the color that corresponds with it. I'm from Iowa, so everything I do is black and gold. Go Hawks. Caitlin Clark is our hero. Let me see here. Then you can do this. Test. And add to the video. Whoops. Awesome. So we can put that right here, and that will show up on the video as well. And basically, you can do all of the art you would like to do, and you can export that and send it to wherever you'd like. And that is basically it.
All right. Well, it does look like we had a few questions roll in while you were presenting about Make.
Okay, cool.
So one was specifically from Tracy about Eddie, and it's asking if I have a podcast on another host, can I still use the promo pack?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was going to say the answer to that is absolutely, like Kristy said. So whenever you are going into that upload dashboard, you can either search for that podcast or automatically copy in the RSS feed. And that will allow Eddie to create kind of at a per project level. And
I can show you all that as well again. So when you go to the main page at Eddie, there's 4 options. Now, she had talked about if you have anything in Google, you connect to your Google Drive account and pull audio files from there. Same thing with Zoom with all those recordings, anything from your computer. And then this button called Podcasts. Podcasts is where you search for the name of it or using the RSS feed, and we can pull up anything from other people's from a podcast that, let's say you are an editor and you're working on something for multiple podcasts, you can search for those podcasts, and as long as they're already published, you can pull information from them.
And if they aren't published, you can still click, if you click from that upload computer, and then you go through the actual file upload process, then it will still ask. There will be like a couple of different toggle menus, and it'll say like, hey, what podcast are you creating for? And it'll look very similar to that actual podcast search. But that allows you to create before you're publishing. So if you want like your transcript attached before you're actually releasing the episode, then that's going to be the way that you can do it from there.
Also, all the titles for my episodes are created by Eddie. They pick them for me. I like what they put, and so I keep them.
And then I think we got, it's down here at the bottom. We got, I believe this is about Make.
Okay.
The question is, what if you are already sending via your podcast host to various social media? Okay. Do you disconnect those destinations and send through Headliner?
It is, so if you can send things, so there's only automatic posting to YouTube right now. If you have things that are automatically posting to Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, keep those. That's great. We recommend basically, like we do plan on having automatic posting through Headliner in the future. One-stop shops are the vibe. So like anything to do to make your workflow less, we recommend using our automatic audiograms for posting up to YouTube and also making the content that you can post other places. If it is definitely your call.
Awesome. And then I think this is a fun question. I think you'll like to know it. We got somebody asking what your podcast was called. So we said 5 at the Door. So humble plug.
All right. Yeah. It's 5 at the Door. I basically talked to a bunch of DIY bands, anyone that's like not big. I don't want to talk to big bands. I want to talk to small bands and talk about why it's hard and the struggles and the funny stories and how goofy it is to, basically try this whole art thing out.
Awesome. Those are all the questions we have right now. If anybody has any more questions, you're welcome to drop them into the chat. Other than that, we'll hang out here for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Just riff, I guess. Thank you all again so much for being here.
Do I have here? I can for like the birthdayness. I had a cowboy birthday, so we can have this on for our Headliner birthday bash. I can keep this on the rest of the time.
Lovely. That's very Nashville-esque of you right there.
I had a bachelorette rodeo birthday party that I had from this, so I've just decided to keep this, and it works very, very well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
6 years.
And I guess while we're sitting here, I'm actually going to walk through and show people the clips.
Fantastic.
So Headliner, we do audiograms. We also, looking snazzy, that's awesome. We do a couple of different ways to help support multiple different content forms. So we do a lot of clips, and we have developed our very own kind of AI clipping technology that allows you to batch create content at one time and in an automatic way. So let me share my screen here and remember to click the right buttons. Okay, awesome. So this is Make. So whenever you are creating an automation, you can create different clips. And I'll just quickly show this for our podcast, but you can do it and kind of create different aspect ratios depending on what kind of source you want to post. So we do a lot of Instagram Reels, so I like doing that. And then by clicking this Let AI select the clips, then you're not only going to get one clip, but you're going to actually get 10 clips. So, and Kristy showed you kind of the audiogram process, so I won't make you kind of suffer through and like watch me try and create an audiogram again. But I will show you kind of the end result of what you might get. So whenever you have an automation, you can view it by going on over to the projects tab, and then over in this left-hand column, these are going to be all of the automations that you've created. So I create a lot because I talk to a lot of podcasters, show people lots of demos. So I definitely have a lot of automatic audiograms that are running. But this is the Headliner podcast. So we can see I have 3 automations running for here. And yeah, so we've got this. We will show, I think this is actually a St. Patrick's Day one that I did. So whenever you click this little share button, this is going to be how you can view those 10 different clips. So we see that this is going to be the one AI selected clip, but like I said, we do 10. So you'll just need to scroll down and click choose another clip from this episode. And then it'll start walking you through kind of the process of all the different clips that we make.
I think it didn't share that page.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think you only shared the Headliner page.
Cute. Okay, let's remove that. Stop sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Present, share screen. Okay.
Yay.
Okay, so now this is, you can see that we have the different clips. So this is one of 10. So you can go through and thumb through. You can listen to them. You can tell us like, hey, I really didn't like that clip. Like if it gets cut at a weird spot or something, you can tell us. We take no offense. We actually welcome this because it allows us to actually train our AI to do even better and work better for you. And you can also adjust clips a little bit to say, like this automation is 15 seconds, but I'm like, oh, I know that that would be a really good like 30-second clip or something. You can lengthen it by playing within the actual like little waveform editor, or you can more manually adjust it. I like intervals of 5, so I like to actually use this so I can guarantee and certify like, hey, that's going to be a 20-second clip or whatever. And then from there you can take those edits, and then add them to the video. And then you can even choose to add captions to your video or not to add captions to your video. It's just truly personal preference. And then from there, Headliner will take that and will recreate an audiogram for you using that clip that you selected. Still calling it Twitter. Yeah, I see the question down there. We do still have the Twitter icon. We definitely should try and upload it to X. I guess we're just hanging on to the blue bird for old time's sake for right now. I'll go ahead. And then, Kristy, do you want to show how people can actually create clips in Eddie really quick?
Yes. Okay, cool. So give me just a moment while I, take over screen time. Fantastic. We're going to go back in here. So we're going to go back to my podcast just because this is, I don't want to show you something fake. I want to show you something that we actually used and edited it. So at the top of Eddie, after, something's been uploaded and shown you, we found 20 clips. We will give you and take you down to the clip. You won't be able to hear it just because that's just not the way I believe this works. But you see in blue, it's already picked a clip for me. Now, let's say I'm like, okay, this one's fine. Let's see if there's better ones. There's up and down arrows to take you through the transcript to those different clips. So we'll take you to this one, take you to the whole thing, and you can play it. And let's say that's that one either. And maybe it's not the third one or the fourth one, the fifth one. But let's say it's the fifth one and I really like it. You can create clip right here. Or you can download it, or you can say I don't like it, so that can feed back into the AI, right? So let's say that this is one that I do like. You can create clip and it'll say preparing the clip. So basically what it's doing is it's cutting the audio for you. Now we haven't added any of our cool art yet, but we can, it's basically here, you already have the clip. Let's start picking the art stuff. What's my favorite? I would say I really like this one. It's got this cool like wave thing happening, and I'm going to change it actually to my colors. And just, I think that just like pops. I think that looks crazy. See this little emblem where it's like blue fading into pink? We're going to put the episode art there. We're just going to do that for you. If you do not want that, you can go into media and adjust all of this. So you can say, okay, I don't want this image. I want to replace it for something else. The art stuff is all up to you. I would explore through all this because there's too much to talk about. There's progress bars. There's different waveforms that we could use. There's intros and outros. You can add captions. You can add your own watermark, change text. There's so much to do here. I recommend just trying it. And once it's done, you can create, and you can open up the advanced editor to kind of see the final product and play it through to see if this is exactly what you like. Because of the clip is about a minute, this will take about 30 seconds to make. We're really proud with the speed of how everything goes. While this is being made, is there any questions? I guess I can go back in infinite screen and see what's going on.
I think we did get one about the floating cube.
Oh, the floating cube is used on it's in a different aspect ratio. So because I was making everything in a square, there's only specific templates for the square. There's only specific templates for portrait, and there's only specific templates for landscape. So if you were using the portrait mode for Instagram Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts, that spinning cube is still available, which is rad. I love that one because there's nothing cooler than seeing your podcast art moving in a three-dimensional space. So basically here is, I'm actually really glad I can go here. I don't want my captions to be there. I want it to be at the top. So I can move those there. And then, so it says new episode out. I might, actually, I don't mind that. That's in red. That's fine. I love it. I like the colors here. This image is still going to be used, and you just export that. And you're basically ready to go. You can edit your transcript here as well. And that is basically it. That is making something through Eddie, and you can just repeat the process over and over again, where you just go back to Eddie and find the other clip that you like. Let's say if it was number 13. Again, we could do 20 clips. I think that's pretty sick. And you just pick the ones that you want and make clips out of them. That's basically it.
Awesome. And then we did get another question asking if we can have a link to the podcast in the actual audiogram.
Yes, it is about, so, okay, the best way to do that, okay, it's through the sharing aspect. If you go into Make and you go in your projects, let's say we wanted to share this one. We have the share button for everything. So if you click Twitter, this is where you put all that information. And through Play is where we put the link to the podcast. Play is our podcast player. And then, oh, my my sparkly balls fell off my head. So let's see here. Play is our podcast player, which will direct link back to also your podcast, I believe, including all those plays. This is just the player that links to everyone's RSS feed. It's just a lot simpler this way. But you can also link and put the link to your podcast in here as well. It's everything that happens beforehand. You can also do the same thing in LinkedIn. So this will create, if you sign into LinkedIn and create that bridge, you should be all good.
Awesome. Well, oh, I see Rena just joined as well. Hi, Rena.
Hiya.
Awesome.
They're called Daily Boppers. Okay, cool. I was just these things. Wait, these have a name? I had no idea.
That's
Daily
awesome.
Boppers.
That's awesome. We're all learning something here today.
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
Well, awesome. So it looks like we've had a few more people join here in the last few minutes. So to recap, we did a very brief overview of how to use Eddy and how to use Make as well. Also introduced the entire Headliner product suite. If you have any questions, Kristy and I will be sticking around for a few more minutes. Just feel free to drop them in the chat. Or if you even have like a very poignant, like, hey, I want to know how to make my captions pink or whatever, just
We can
let us
dive
know.
into
We're
that
here.
whole thing.
Yeah. Hat's coming off.
Hats off. Hats off now.
You just switched hats. I guess it's not totally
Yeah, hats off and on.
awesome. Well, again, and thank you everybody for the kind words. Headliner appreciates you. You make our job fun.
Yeah, we love you guys.
And while we're here, I will do a humble plug. The Headliner podcast, the Discovery and Marketing podcast, did release a new episode yesterday. So you can find that on wherever you listen to podcasts or here on YouTube. We like to post our little audiograms, and you'll probably be finding 1 or 2 blooper clips here on our social media, likely within the next 2 to 3 business hours. That's how long my automation will take to make it.
And we're both on it. So if you like whatever this thing that we've got going, there's more of that on the podcast.
Is there any promo code for the birthday bash? I do see that. We're not currently running any specials or discounts. If you want to try out using any of the tools that we mentioned here, though, most of them are going to be free for you to use. And it's always free to make a Headliner account. Just visit make.headliner.app to go ahead and get started.
The free account, I'd say, lets you do so much. If you post, we let you have 5. So the free account on Make lets you have 5 free videos a month, as well as 10 minutes of transcription. A lot of people are only posting 1 thing a week. There's usually 5 weeks in a month. That's what a lot of people need. When it comes to Eddy, don't even worry about it. It is free right now. And I do not see that changing in the time being. It is an incredibly important tool. I think everyone should be using it.
And again, for people that are just joining Eddy, that's going to be our transcript-based editor, but it does support both audio and video at this time. So however you're recording your podcast, you can go ahead and get it transcribed and optimized in a free and easy to use way.
All right, cool.
Well, I don't see any questions. I just see some lovely little comments, some hearts thrown our way. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap it on up here. But let me throw up our contact sheet actually super quick while I'm thinking about it. So if you want to get in touch with Headliner, my name's Alyssa. That's Kristy. You can email us by contacting support@headliner.app. We're very active on all social media platforms. My personal email, you're always welcome to reach out, ecraig@headliner.app. We're very creative with our naming conventions. Most things are going to be at headliner.app. It's going to be the same for our social media handles and everything. We will have a podcast episode released every single Thursday with some fun, more informative ones regarding podcast marketing and ways to help better monetize and optimize your podcast, all sorts of things on the Headliner podcast Discovery and Marketing. And you can listen to those wherever you listen to podcasts. And I see a couple of shout outs to Podcasting 2.0. We do always add transcripts and all sorts of wonderful things to try and, follow along, make it as engaging and as interactive as possible with our podcast. But I think that's about going to do it for us. Thank you again so much to everybody that was able to join. We appreciate you. And if you weren't able to stick around for the whole thing or you're just joining, no worries. This is being recorded and we're going to upload it onto our YouTube. But thanks again.
Thank you all.